Well, that's just my radio training.
I'm going to scoot you over.
Are you in the picture?
Scoot over a little.
Well, I'm scooting.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, shit, I should have worn black.
Well.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's going to be on YouTube.
Okay. It's a good thing I had leggings on.
Good thing. Yeah. So we're going to try to get started here. I'm Candace.
I'm Natalia.
And this is Not a Single Fork, just another podcast about food and cooking, but we're keeping it real.
Real. And who else do we have?
Well, the person keeping it real with us today, this is Rebecca Bennett.
Hello.
Rebecca is, actually, we've known Rebecca for quite a while, but she happens to be our extern at the kitchen because she has been doing the Escoffier online culinary school. And so we thought it would be interesting for you to hear her perspective on what she's been going through with that, how she got into it, and her journey and all that kind of stuff. So, welcome.
Thank you.
To our podcast.
I hope I'm interesting.
You will be. You will be.
Oh, okay.
Everyone has a story.
Well,
even if you don't know.
Well, no.
Yeah, we'll get one out of you.
Over this journey, you've learned a lot about me. So
Yes.
I'm so scared about what you're going to ask me.
I won't ask you those things.
Okay.
This is a daytime TV show.
Yeah, your secrets are safe with us.
Okay.
Yes. So, why don't we just, actually, I think it might be kind of fun to start with how we met
Yeah.
Sure.
back in the day.
How long ago was it?
Gosh, it was when we were first at the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to be almost 10 years.
Broken Arrow Kitchen.
Yeah.
More than that. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Because we've only been there for 10 years in November.
Yes.
Which is now. November is now.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
like
So,
looking
yeah.
That's okay.
So
Must have been right in the beginning.
yeah, it was
It
right in the
was.
beginning.
I don't even know how we were introduced.
Yeah, how did you find her?
Remember that?
Did Melissa probably found you?
Maybe.
Yeah. So I had a crazy publicist, Melissa.
Yep. We're
Yep.
saying that.
We're saying that.
Yeah, we are saying that.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. And loved her to death, but she just is who she is. And so she was working on, getting publicity and PR and marketing and all that kind of stuff. And so we needed to have a sizzle reel or promo reel, whatever, you want to call it. And she found Red Door Media.
Yeah.
And that was or is your company?
Yeah, we started out as Thor Productions, but that's not very sexy.
Thor.
Thor.
Well, Thor's pretty sexy.
My mother-in-law said, you need to come up with a new name.
Okay.
I was like, well, what do you mean? So we had this company that we weren't using anymore. And so the company was named Thor because my husband likes mythological characters.
Okay.
So she goes, how about we change the name to Red Door Multimedia? And I was like, that's a great idea.
So were you doing this company with your husband?
Nope.
Okay.
He just had a spare company just sitting around. And I was like, I'll take it.
I'll take it. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if I was Thor or Red Door, but anyway, it doesn't really matter in this scheme of things.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then what did Red Door or does Red Door do?
Okay, so we're a full service agency. We do video, we do any marketing that you need, which can be advertising, outdoor advertising, digital, you name it, we do it. So the only one thing we weren't doing was PR at the time.
Oh.
So that was Melissa, and she contacted us to help you out.
Yeah.
So it was random. You didn't know her.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
don't
just a random
remember.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And we
I-
kept you. Yeah.
Oh,
I like
thanks. Yeah, so that was fun.
So Red Door and their entourage ended up at the studio, and we started, kind of going through a class, and they taped it. You had guys there, I think, from HGTV, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
We had a huge crew.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
my
so
gosh.
fun.
Yeah.
We were working a little bit with some other, folks. And so we thought, hey, we're going to work with Candace and Natalia.
Mhm.
And, so we brought the whole show. It was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I
Yeah.
do remember. It was kind of a shit show, but I remember it being fun.
Yeah. It was
That
very
stuff
fun.
always is like that, because nobody knows what to expect, and there were a lot of people there, but it was good. I mean, it was a good shit show.
Well, and it kind of reflected how we did classes back
Yeah,
it
then,
did.
which is very different
Very
from how
different.
we do classes now. So,
There was a lot of wine pouring. That's all I remember.
Yeah,
well, that has continued.
that
Yeah.
continues that
Yeah,
way.
that's
Maybe
a-
not
I
as
was like,
loose,
hold
but-
up. They're on camera. It's okay.
So that was 9-10 years ago. And then we really haven't, I mean, you've come to a couple classes, but we haven't worked together or seen each other in that aspect. And then you just, okay, so how did you end up, is this an online school that you're doing, the Escoffier?
Yep.
Okay, what happened there? Are you,
So what was your, so you go from multimedia, marketing, all that stuff to culinary school.
yeah,
Right.
What happened there?
right.
Well, everyone heard of a midlife crisis, right?
Yes.
I didn't get a convertible, so that was good.
Or a young boyfriend.
Didn't do that either. So we have a house in the East Coast and we drive. And I was getting bored with what I was doing. No offense, sorry. I just was needing a change. And I shoved 3 dogs in my car and drove across the country and had a lot of windshield time, listened to a lot of podcasts, listened to a lot of books, because it's like 28 hours on the road.
Jeez.
And with 3 dogs, I had to stop at these like KOA, like weird, like campground things,
Oh, so the dogs would sleep there?
Yeah. So it was just a weird time in my life. And I thought, okay. On the way back, I decided I stopped in Indianapolis and it was the weirdest thing. So I've always wanted to go to culinary school. And
Always meaning from
high school.
Oh, okay.
My mom was a huge cook. I learned from her, and like your mom, she just let me observe. I didn't actually get to do, but I got to watch. And she passed away in 2009, and I wanted to dedicate something to her. And I thought I would do a cookbook because she left me all I asked my dad was give me her recipes. And so while I was doing all this windshield time, I had all of these thoughts of like, what am I going to do to honor my mom? What am I going to do? I've always wanted to go to culinary school, but there's this thing called a job, and I had to get a job, and I was under scholarship at Cal State Sacramento for gymnastics. So I had to do that. And then life happens. Then, you graduate, you get a job, you move. And then like all of a sudden I was married with kids, and I was like, I didn't do it. So it all hit me in Indianapolis on my way back from Maine.
Was there something you were listening to that prompted this?
But you're going to ask me what it is, and I can't remember what it was. It was like this inspirational book.
Book or something.
It was a book. And it was talking about, it was really random. It was just talking about like, what is your spark? What is your special thing? What do you bring to the table? What is your life mission? It was like speaking to me. And I think it was just a random like, hey, we suggest this book for you. And I was like, okay, click.
Right.
What's next? I still got 16 hours on the road. What else am I going to do?
Yeah.
And so I listened to it. It really just kind of resonated. So I drove like 9 hours that day. Again, 3 dogs.
It's a lot.
Count them. 3 dogs. There's not a lot of places you can stay with 3 dogs.
No.
So I found this really bad hotel. Oh, wait, it's not a hotel. It's a motel with an M.
It's very different.
I just did sign language there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It was so bad. It was like the carpet was like mismatched. Like they just like took carpet and laid it down. Like, oh, we need to replace. It was so bad.
Yeah.
It smelled.
There was some kind of, somebody
Murder.
died.
Oh yeah. It smelled like smoke. It smelled like pet. It smelled like sweat. I was like, do you have a room?
Yeah.
And she's like, we have 1 room left. And it was $400
Oh my god.
for this little
For one night?
For one night. And it was a suite
Oh no.
in this horrible motel. And
Yeah.
I was like, I'll take it. I need to get off the road because I'm going to kill somebody if I keep driving. I was just like, I need to stop driving. Thank goodness they had Wi-Fi.
Oh well.
was
There's
one of-
that. For $400 a night, they might have Wi-Fi.
They had Wi-Fi.
$400
$400
for
It was a
motel.
suite. It was
okay,
like
so my mom made it different. What was?
And I felt bad because the woman behind me, there were no rooms that night.
Mhm.
Like something was going on in Indianapolis, and I don't know what was going on. And the girl behind me was there with her son, and they needed a room, and I was first. So I was like, she's like, we have 1 room left. I'm like, oh.
So
sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I logged onto the Wi-Fi, and I was like, I'm going to start Googling culinary schools.
Okay.
And this culinary school popped up, and it was like we were in COVID, and we have now ramped our online program up.
Mhm.
They started online at 2017, but they really didn't ramp it up till COVID hit.
Yeah.
So everything was accredited, had like 3 or 4 accreditations, lots of recommendations. And so me sitting there with nothing else to do, I filled out the application and then I was like, okay, I'm doing this.
And this was Escoffier.
Escoffier.
And where is that based out of?
They have a campus in Austin, Texas, and then they have a campus in Boulder, Colorado.
And do you ever have to go to those places, or do you do everything online?
No, I mean I will eventually, but not right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean I'm looking to extend it. I want to do nutrition and maybe some plant-based stuff, but so yeah, it was just like
It was like an aha moment, and you're just like, "Fuck it, let's do it."
I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And then I felt so like I was driving back from Indianapolis to Tulsa, driving, going, what did I just do? They're not going to call me. Oh yeah, they called me nonstop. Hi.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hi.
Yeah.
And it was like this poke.
Yeah.
And I was like, finally, I'm like, all right, I'm doing it. Doing it.
So what does that mean? Are you you have to take classes a certain amount of days a week?
Yeah.
You have to what does that look like?
So it was 2 classes, sometimes more, sometimes 3 classes a week. So it'd be like the teaching one. So like I would go to school.
So you'd log in for a Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they would do instruction. So we would learn a lot about just the base, they went through it depended on what the week or the month was that we were studying. But yeah, so it was the day of instruction. And then the next day is what they call like study hall.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like they would do a demonstration or it was a place for us to actually visit with a teacher and talk about.
So that first day is all lecture.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
how long?
There's
is
no
that?
practical. It's just they just straight lecture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there is
So it's just like
practical.
school.
Yeah, you have to read the chapters. So you have to be like ready to go.
Just like school.
School. And then they lecture you like school.
Okay.
And then the next day is like the demonstration or we have questions or I got halfway through this and I totally screwed this up. Like, how can you help me kind of stuff. And then after that, you turn in so it usually be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday would usually be the days. And then you had until the next Tuesday to turn everything in. And all of that time you have access to your chef.
And how many people are doing this with you at the same time?
It would depend because everybody's on a different course.
Okay.
So we would have sometimes 30 people. Sometimes we'd have like 100 people.
Oh, okay.
But everybody on a Zoom call, please mute.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest distraction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sure.
You have someone
I'm
like,
sure.
we're all like listening in, doing a demo, and then someone's like, Wilma! Whoa! You're like,
You're
I
Please.
was on a Zoom call once, and someone got up and went to the bathroom.
yeah.
No. I have a better one.
Okay.
So Jason is.
Oh no.
Oh,
no.
And so it wasn't him, but he was working from home for a little while. He works, I'm just going to be vague. He works for a construction company. So the guys in the field were there as well. And it was like 100 people on this Zoom call and I walked in the front door and I looked at the computer and all the boxes were blacked out except this one in the top middle. And it was this guy. I'm not, I shit you not, naked with tidy whities on, laying sideways.
Oh no.
Red hair, red beard, eating fried chicken. And I was like, is that guy naked eating fried chicken? And he's like, yeah, the owner of the company's on this call too. And I was like, no one told him.
No one.
No, of course not. They're a bunch of dudes. No one told him. So I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what his name is. I don't know what his job is. But
Does
every
Jason
time,
know?
Oh yeah. Every time we go to the Christmas party, I'm like, is that the naked chicken?
Is that the tidy whitey guy?
And he's like, yeah. So I recognize him from a mile away.
Oh
but
my God.
people,
Yeah.
come on.
People.
Come on.
Come on.
Turn off the camera.
Or
Mute
just
your microphone.
mute yourself,
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
decent. But I can't imagine, like, how many people in class yell at their kids?
Oh,
It was like, because class was at 5 o'clock usually. It
How
was like
long
a-
is class?
It's an hour to 30 minutes. Just
Okay.
depends. I mean, sometimes it goes long because you have, someone yelling at their kids. And you're like, hey. It's fine. That was the only really downside to it
Yeah.
because I, obviously, with 3 kids, I cannot travel to Austin.
Right.
I cannot travel to Boulder.
Right.
So it was the likely scenario for me. It was perfect. So it worked out.
So do you have to do a certain number of those hours and then you contacted us, or like how did that work out?
From the very beginning, they told me I had to do an externship. And what did I do? I was like, yeah, it's fine. We'll figure that out. And then as I got closer, I was like, oh, okay. And they really wanted to put me on a cruise ship.
What?
Yeah.
They were going to place you? So they place people?
They place people.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Like, think about it, like casinos, hotels, hospitals, cruise ships. Yeah. They're looking for people all the time. Disney is a big one. They staff for Disney.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, like, the first thing they do is like, hey, so what do you think about riverboats? And I was like, cool.
You're like, I like a good riverboat.
Yeah.
I mean, what about it? Like,
sure.
Yeah.
But then I realized the practicality of that in my world right
now. How long
would
you have been gone for?
Well, the 6 weeks.
Okay. But that's kind of cool for someone that either doesn't have children or is younger, then has nothing like a home,
Yeah.
Well, and
no
a
responsibilities.
lot of those externships will pay you. So if you do like opt for the riverboat thing, or the casino thing,
so you
they might
pay
you. I know.
And got a vacation.
And I brought you the wine.
That's right.
No, I'm kidding. But it is kind of cool because they will place you, but the whole goal is for you to be in a career after this whole thing is said and done.
Right.
And I don't know exactly what my end game is yet. So I was like, ooh, I don't want to lead somebody on and be like, hey, thanks for that. Bye.
So what made you think of us?
Because I've always loved Candace. Well, and you too.
More now.
I know. More now.
She likes you better now.
Yeah. She knows me more now.
Candace has always been, when I was doing this entire journey, she was always in the back of my head speaking to me, if that makes sense.
I think she has that effect on a lot of people.
Yeah, I was like, I hear Candace.
Yeah.
I don't know why I hear her. And so she's always been an inspiration. And I remembered her story from a long time ago about what she was doing professionally before she started cooking professionally. And I thought, that's an inspiration to me because I've always wanted to do this. And I got pigeonholed into something else that I liked doing. It just wasn't my calling.
It didn't fulfill you.
And you're good at it.
Yeah.
Also, you're good at that. So it was easy to stay there.
But you get to the point where you want something to like feed your soul.
Yeah. When someone's knocking on the door and you're like, go away. Yeah. I don't want to talk to you. Bye. Go away.
I don't want to produce any more films.
So I just was knocking. And then finally in Indianapolis at that cruddy hotel. Sorry, I can say crappy. Motel.
You can say whatever
I
you
will
want.
I will not say the name. Although it was what was it called? I can think of it right now.
Motel.
Oh,
was it a Night's Inn?
No, it was like a Clarion, or I don't even remember.
Days Inn.
No, it wasn't even a Days Inn. It was like
I cannot believe it was $400.
$400.
And it was it in Indianapolis?
Right outside, so right before you hit the city.
Unbelievable.
Oh no.
Unbelievable.
So it wasn't even in the city.
And there was an Applebee's next door.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And I had the crappiest salad at that Applebee's. I was like, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
I literally was questioning my entire life. I was like, what am I doing here?
I would be too.
It was like, they gave me a salad that had no lettuce.
What?
They were out of lettuce, so it was full of those Chinese little like
crunchy bits?
Yeah, crunchy bits and like
some noodles.
Yeah. And I looked at the lady, I was like, there's no
didn't say anything?
Nothing. I was like, thanks. I get like 20 minutes away from my dogs and I get
chow mein noodles
with some crappy sauce on top.
And maybe a couple of tomatoes or something.
I'm out of here.
The food is calling to you.
You're like, you need to
fix this.
I did. And I fixed it.
So what is your goal with this? What do you want? You don't want to work on a cruise ship?
No.
Or a riverboat?
Although, if I could escape my life, that actually might be kind of cool.
Could be
Sorry,
good.
No offense, kids.
Yeah.
I love you.
Every mom feels that way.
I know.
But what is your ultimate goal with this then? Do you want to have a restaurant? Do you want to do, what's your plan here?
No, I don't want to have a restaurant. That sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, it's...
Yeah.
And I'm 48. And, I like work. But I do also like my free time.
Yeah.
And the whole reason I'm doing this is to get out of my day-to-day grind. So I don't know. When something's knocking, you're like, okay, I'm just going to do it because I think that that's what me, is wanting to do. So I still have my day job, kind of weaning away from that until I figure out what the next thing is. But you have to, in my book, I always think if you don't answer whatever it is that you want to do, you'll always guess. Well, what would have been?
Yeah. I
What
agree.
would have been? And I don't know if I'm going to be a cookbook writer. I have no idea.
Did you redo your mom's cookbook, or did you do your?
I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
And
you have it.
I do.
Okay.
She was meticulous. She hand wrote everything.
Mm-hmm.
So do I want to be like a Julia Child and like go through and like cook all of her recipes and create her cookbook?
Mm-hmm. It might be kind of fun.
That would
be a
fun.
fun project. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super
And
fun.
through it all, I've learned through social media and just my friends that people don't know how to cook.
No.
Oh my God.
And that's again, Candace in the back of my head.
Yeah.
They don't know how to cook. You know, I heard story after story of people through COVID not being able to go to a restaurant and then having to cook on their own, or maybe they lost their job and they couldn't cook.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was talking people through while I was going to culinary school how to cook chicken, like basic stuff, you know, because they couldn't visit me. So we would Zoom.
Right.
I would take pictures and I would send them to them.
So
And I wasn't
funny.
charging them because I'm in school. Like I didn't, you know, so I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
You know, not to take a page out of your book, but like people don't know how to do the basics.
No, they don't.
No.
And they're intimidated by it, so they won't even try it without assistance.
Yeah. And if I can walk them through and they can feed their family and not burn their chicken, I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Thought first. Oh yeah, you heard that chick.
Yeah.
You heard that story. Do you
What's
want to
that
know
story?
as well?
Yeah, I don't know that story.
I got a call from a friend. Her name will remain anonymous.
She'll know.
She'll know.
She is.
She goes, hey, so I'm going to cook chicken. I was like, cool. And she called me and she said, I burned my chicken. And I was like, oh, what'd you do? And she goes, well, it was raw on the inside. And I go, did you thaw the chicken? No.
A whole chicken?
No. Just
Like a breast?
Yeah, like a chicken breast.
But she put it in
She
the
put
oven
it-
frozen?
No, she put it on the skillet, frozen,
Oh.
and burned it. So she cooked it.
I thought
So on the
I had a
outside-
vision of it being like something roasted, but no,
No.
she just took
It was like a, what's it called? A black and blue steak?
Yeah.
Where it's like rare
Yeah,
on It's
exactly.
black and blue chicken.
But she didn't even know to thaw it first. I was
Oh.
like, hey, so-and-so, did you thaw your chicken? And she goes, no.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, throw it in the Instapot. And she goes, the outsides are burned. I was like, okay, well then get some beans.
Again, your rice out. Rice
I
and
was
beans
like,
out.
rice
It's
and beans
pasta
night.
time. It's pasta
I was like,
time.
it's ruined. But,
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
simply she had never cooked for her family before. They were that family that went out to dinner every single day.
Yeah.
And there's so many people
Mhm.
like that. And we noticed that during,
Yeah.
I was going to say the Great Depression.
Well, some might say that.
They're still in your depression.
It was depressing.
kind of depressing. But we really noticed that. And I think some people were like, oh, I need to learn how. And then my favorite thing is these people that don't know how to cook a meal, they decide, I'm going to learn how to make sourdough. And I'm like,
No.
could it be more practical? Like, could you just learn how to make a chicken or something? Like,
Right.
this isn't a hobby. I mean, it can be, and it is, and I'm
Yeah,
glad
or
you're enjoying
making,
it.
it's like a lot of these women with sourdough. It's like it becomes a member of the family.
Well, it has to. It's a pet. It's ridiculous. You have to feed it and shit and take it with you on vacation. Like, it's a lot. That's not like preparing a meal, But why are we doing that instead of just learning the basics?
No. And like people who go to your classes, I think they genuinely want to learn,
Mhm.
Like I think they really want to
Yeah.
learn and want to walk away with like some knowledge. And just being around you guys, I've learned so much that I didn't learn in culinary school. Just little simple stuff, that's really cool.
So you've been with us now for
I'm on week 5.
5
Mhm.
already.
Next,
Oh, that's sad.
yeah, I know.
It's
It went by
almost
so
Almost
quickly.
over. What have you learned being with us?
Well, now you're putting me on the spot.
Okay,
aren't
well,
you?
have a think.
Well, I was telling
Well,
Candace.
and here's
Yeah.
the thing. I certainly am a person who appreciates education. I mean, I have a PhD, so
Mhm.
that means I went to school a lot.
For a long
Mhm.
time.
But I never had an appreciation, and I still don't really, for culinary school
Mhm.
because I think I shouldn't say I think it's a racket. I do think it's a racket, frankly, because they give you the basics or whatever, and when you get finished and you've spent, if you're not doing online, but online may be expensive too, I don't know, but if you go to CIA
Mhm.
up in New York and you spend 40 grand and you get out and you go to a restaurant to get on the line, and they don't care what school you went to, because they're going to show you all over again how you ought to do it.
And you're
How
starting
they
at the
want you to do
bottom.
it.
You're starting at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are not
regardless.
starting as an executive chef.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. And so, like, and there are certain things you're like, oh, you didn't learn that in culinary school. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Should I have? I don't know.
Oh, it's the heavy cream thing.
The heavy cream thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was.
I
We
can't
talked
tell
about
you
that
how many
yesterday.
times I've curdled whatever, because I have this recipe that I do. It's like in the, we do it a lot. And it calls for heavy cream. And when I don't have heavy cream, I just use milk. It curdles every time, even though I think it's cool and I like spoon it in. It still kind of curdles.
You're
And
like,
when you
what is
said
it
that the
doing?
other night, that heavy cream does not curdle in hot, I was like, that's why it calls for heavy cream.
See, and
You
that's
cannot
one of those
substitute.
things that I think is so basic.
Yeah.
Why don't you teach people that?
Because you're too busy lecturing about everything that they know.
Right.
I mean, I'm sorry.
No, you're true. It's
You know
true.
where our-
practical
Sorry.
stuff. Practical
But that's
stuff.
school. But that is school. I mean, people can go to school and get a degree in whatever. It doesn't have to be culinary. And they come out and they don't know what the fuck they're doing because
Right.
there's no hands-on. And it's just being taught this and this and this. And that doesn't mean you know how
Taking
to
a
do
test.
your job.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you just have to know how to take a test.
Right.
So I can't remember when this episode's going to drop. Is it before Thanksgiving?
Probably, yes.
So you like to cook. You cook at
I
home.
love to cook. Yeah.
And your mom liked to cook, so you kind of picked
Yeah.
it up from her. So with Thanksgiving coming up, are you making things? What's the plan?
Okay.
And is it the same every year?
No.
Okay.
So my mom passed away in 2009, and so since then I sort of took over
'Cause
that.
she did everything.
She did everything.
And you just went to her house and ate food.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she would make that horrible Jello mold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
that?
the
Tell us
Jell-O.
about that.
The Jello mold. And I do not make
Everyone
that.
has a Jell-O mold
It's like
story.
the thing,
Yeah.
It's like
What was inside it?
it's usually lime Jello,
Oh no!
marshmallows,
Okay.
some sort of nut. If I'm recalling, it was like a walnut.
Mm.
Any kind of fruit that was laying around, usually like the canned pineapple or the Marciano cherries.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, fruit cocktail.
Oh,
Fruit
yeah.
cocktail. That's
Yes,
probably
it
what she
was.
poured in
I bet
there.
it
You
was.
are probably right.
Mhm.
Yeah. But then there'd be like a crunchy element, like besides the nuts, like maybe an apple slice or like,
Did anybody eat this?
Oh, well, my dad would eat it because he didn't want to disappoint her.
Uh-huh.
But every year she thought it was our favorite. She's like, "Oh, the Jello," and I'm like, "Mom, every year we tell you we hate
Like,
the
please
Jello."
don't with the Jello.
But-
so do you make it now?
No,
I
I'm scarred.
You should make.
an homage.
You know what you should do?
Right.
Is
Oh my god!
you
You're
should
right.
make a giant Jello shot in homage for your mom.
Oh my god,
Every
with
Thanksgiving.
nuts.
No, just Jello.
Just a Jello shot.
Jello
Okay, I was
shot.
like that
in
would
the
be
mold. No, in the
Oh,
mold.
a
Put
giant, yeah.
just a
put
big
lots
mold.
of alcohol in it.
Yeah. and
How do
everybody
you do
can just
that?
take a
Just
spoonful.
vodka?
A gel-
Yeah.
yeah. And
Okay.
you mix
It's
it
easy.
with, yeah.
You're gonna have to do that on your mixology.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll show you how to make a
Oh,
giant Jello
Can
shot. Yeah.
that would be so.
Do you have the
fun.
mold?
I do have a mold. I don't have the mold.
Okay.
I don't know where that went,
I
but
have a mold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do
You're
a
underneath
giant festive mold, Jello mold, and then you can just take spoonfuls when you need it.
oh my god, that would go over much
See, I
better
feel like
at
your
the family
would like
Thanksgiving.
that. Okay, so now you're making family Thanksgiving, and you're making it this year.
I am.
And what do you always make the same thing,
Yes.
which is a turkey?
The turkey, the ham, that's given.
Okay.
I mean, my husband likes spiral, that ham. stuff.
Honey.
Yeah, honey.
Okay.
Sweet ham.
Yeah.
It's
From the
fine.
Hamlet.
We do get it from the Hamlet.
Yeah, it's good
call.
ham.
Yeah.
It's good ham.
If you like ham, that's
Yeah.
good ham.
Yeah, I mean, we don't do the bean casserole.
The green bean
green
casserole.
beans.
No.
Okay, what do you do?
Do you do the bean casserole? No. Yeah. We do some sort of sweet potato.
What
Do
does
some
that-
sort of squash.
Okay,
Sweet
like
potatoes, like with the orange juice and the brown sugar.
okay, you do a sweet potato.
Sweet potato.
Okay.
And then I'll do some sort of squash, which is you actually do it sort of like mashed potatoes, but it's got a lot of liquid in it, so it takes a little bit more time.
Oh, okay.
It's like acorn squash.
But it becomes like a mashed potato.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom used to always make that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
You know
that.
about that? Yeah.
I'll bring it to you.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
It's butter, milk, salt and pepper, pretty much.
So-
but you just mix it like normal mashed potatoes.
Huh.
But it has a lot of liquid, so you have to get the liquid out before you do it.
What do you mean?
So you boil it. Yeah.
Uh-huh. The squash.
Yeah.
Oh, the
But if-
squash has
Okay.
liquid in it.
Okay, but wait a minute. So do you?
Okay, I
gotta
have
understand
many
this.
questions.
So do you do you half the squash, or do you peel it, or what do you do with it?
No, so an acorn squash. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
weird,
yeah,
wonky.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so I just cut it up and boil it, and so it
with
absorbs
skin,
the water.
With the skin on it?
Then I skin it, and then I put it back in the pan to get some of that liquid out
Okay.
with the existing heat.
All right.
And then when you still put it in the blender, like the mixer,
Mm.
you mix it. I didn't think we'd be talking about this. This is really weird. There's a lot of liquid that comes out, so I let it sit for a while.
Okay.
And then the liquid will come to the top, and then you kind of wipe it clean. And then,
Why don't you? What happens if you just roast it?
oh my god!
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would be.
See, the things you don't learn.
Because I think if you boil it, it's sucking
Sucking in the
all
water.
that
Yeah, and
water.
with roasting it, it's a dry,
It's drying it out.
dry.
Why don't you give that a go this year?
You can just, all you would have to do. Hey, listen, this is a concept. You just cut them in half and open them up, and then you
Roast
just scoop the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And then,
Wait, is that how your mom made it?
Yes.
That's why you do it that way. It's like that story my mom was like, every year we'd have I can't remember what it was, like a piece of meat or something, and it would be like cut off here, and like that's how we made it. And so I made it like
Right.
that, and everyone was like, why are you making it like that? I don't know, because that's what my mom did. And mom's like, I did that because it didn't fit in the oven. Like, I didn't do that for any other reason.
I'm
Okay.
doing that. Okay,
Yeah, let's
good.
give that a try.
And I will let you know how that
Let
goes.
us know if you have to scoop water off the top.
roasted with dry heat so that it's
What are
not.
those like? What? Okay, so a squash.
Yes,
Mashed potato.
potato kind of thing.
Okay.
Mashed potatoes,
Squash
obviously.
puree. How about
Then I
puree?
do the
Squash
homemade
puree.
gravy, which we all know homemade gravy is way better than
Way better.
way
Yes.
better than the mixy thing or the jar thingy.
Yep.
We will do these celery sticks, which is kind of a funny thing.
Okay.
It's just celery filled with cream cheese, green olives, and the pimento
cheese,
thing.
yeah.
No, just the
Oh,
pimento,
the pimento. Okay.
like the red
Oh, okay.
stuff.
So
Okay.
you make your own kind of, sort of a pimento cheese.
Yeah, and then
Cream
you stuff
cheese,
the.
olives, and
So it's an appetizer.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and then maybe some deviled eggs with
Okay.
the appetizer. But
Okay.
that's if I'm feeling like I just want to go the extra mile. But normally that'll do it.
So any other kind of like green vegetable or anything?
Oh, we sometimes do a spinach casserole. You ever done a spinach casserole?
Have
No?
I ever
Yeah.
done a
Is that like a
yeah.
cream spinach?
No.
Okay, tell
Just
us
like-
about your
yeah,
spinach
okay.
casserole.
Three
so that we
pa-
can fix it.
Yeah, we'll help you with that one too.
3 packages of frozen spinach. Boil it.
Yeah.
You have cream of mushroom soup. You have stovetop. I know you. I knew you.
Okay.
What's stovetop?
Stovetop stuff?
Stuffing.
Oh, stuffing. Okay.
And then you
Okay.
have onions.
Okay.
Oh, the grated cheese, sour cream, garlic. That's pretty much it.
And you just throw it in a pan and.
Nope. Again, you have to drain the spinach. Don't you just roast it, Rebecca?
Well, no. If you would have to drain frozen.
Frozen
I
spinach.
know. And so you do the spinach. You put it in the.
But wait, you boil frozen spinach?
Yeah, don't you?
No, I saute it.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but I thaw it, and
Oh
then
my!
Because if you boil, because it comes, if I remember correctly,
Yeah,
it comes
like in a little
square.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then if you boil, I mean, isn't it just like tiny? I mean, how do you?
yeah. It's just little tiny pieces. Yeah.
You
Scoop it
take
out.
dish towels and you drain it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I just saute it in a pan.
Doing that now.
Okay, try that.
We just thought.
Stop
and throw it in a
boiling
pan.
shit.
I don't know. This is the way my mom always did it.
I know. My
Yeah, I
mom
know,
boiled
I know.
everything.
Yeah, and so you put, the onions and the cheese and the stovetop in the
Okay.
mixture with the mushroom soup, or
Okay.
Campbell's mushroom soup,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then you mix that all together.
Uh-huh.
Put that in a thingy,
Uh-huh.
cook it.
The
It,
spinach, the spinach goes
like
in
in a
that
casserole.
cheese.
Yeah,
Okay.
casserole dish.
Okay.
And then on top of it is more stovetop, more cheese, and more sour cream.
So
and
it's
then you
kind
mix
of
it, and butter.
So it's kind of a dressing. I mean,
Yeah, on
kind
top,
of-
so it's crunchy on the top.
Okay. So,
And then-
but it's like instead of having a cornbread dressing, you have spinach dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
All
really good. It's a family fave, and it's really good for breakfast. I'm telling you.
Okay.
After a good hangover, you're like, man, give me some spinach casserole.
All right. So you're bringing a spinach casserole
Mhm.
and some not wet squash to try from
I will do it. Absolutely,
Okay.
I will do it.
It's very interesting. Okay, what else?
Well, we talked about stuffing because we'll have our extra stuffing that will be in the bird.
Oh, you
Oh,
you
wet-
stuffed the bird.
Yeah,
Okay.
stuffed the
Oh, wait,
bird.
okay.
And then homemade rolls.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice.
And dessert?
I usually do an apple pie, and then we buy the pumpkin pie because I'm just lazy.
That's
you know, I don't feel like doing two.
Okay.
No, it's a lot of work.
It is a lot
I
of
mean,
work.
especially when it's all on you.
Well,
So,
yeah, I mean, my daughter knows how to do the apple pie, so
Mhm.
she can handle that one.
Oh,
I've been teaching her.
good job. Does she
Unlike-
like to cook?
Yes, but she gives up so easily.
Mm.
Like, she'll be like, "Oh, can you finish chopping the apples?" I'm like, No. You started it.
Is she the only one interested of the
Yeah.
kids?
Well, and then we have this house on the East Coast, and so we bring everybody over on the 4th of July, and we teach them all how to make pies. And then we bring all the pies to all of our neighbors. It's really fun.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so they all get to learn.
Do you make the dough?
Mm-hmm.
Do you make the dough like Candace makes
Mhm.
dough? Because
Yeah.
you said your mom made dough
Yep.
that way.
Here's
I
the
heard you
thing,
say
though.
that.
She adds a little bit of vinegar. Do you not add vinegar? No.
Have you heard of that?
I mean, I think so.
I think I have.
I think it. If I'm not mistaken, I think it helps with it crisping it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, flaky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I've never had a problem with flakiness with Crisco.
Yeah. Crisco seems to do the trick.
Mhm. You use Crisco also?
Yeah, but the butter flavored kind.
Butter flavor.
There's butter flavored Crisco.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I taught you something. Hey!
Well, she uses Crisco so much.
Yeah, all that Crisco. What I'm going to use.
Right? So I think that's about it.
Mhm.
And my mom really, every year she made those apple pies for 4th of July and Thanksgiving. And since she passed away, my dad really looks forward to that apple pie.
So it's a
kind of
specific
thing.
apple pie.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about that.
Well,
Do you boil the apples?
No! But they have to be cut very thin,
Okay.
Yes.
and you just
Do
can't
you use
put...
a mandolin?
No, I do it manually.
Why?
Everyone asked me that question because I got a mandolin and I didn't like it.
Were you scared of it?
No, Tom bought me one.
What do you mean you don't like it?
It didn't cut them thin enough.
Oh.
Oh,
It
like a that thing.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the thingy.
Oh,
No, that's a spiral.
No, that's a
thingy.
spiral
Yeah.
thingy.
No,
Yeah,
like
no,
that's
I
just
got
a
the
peeler.
spiral thingy,
Yeah.
and then I don't know. I just have always done it manually.
Well.
I can try the mandolin.
I mean, you don't have to. But if you do, please be careful.
I know.
Just
I'm
take a
scared
finger
about
off.
my.
Just use the guard. We always recommend using the guard.
So the only pie, the 4th of July pie is apple pie, no other flavor.
And is
Right.
this like a crumble? Like, is there a crumble on top?
Nope.
How's it finished on top? Is
Oh,
it
it's like you
lattice?
did the
double
pot
crust.
pie, double crust,
Uh-huh.
and with little slits on top,
Mhm.
egg wash on top, and that's it. Sometimes I'll sprinkle a little sugar and a little cinnamon,
Mhm.
but then it looks burnt.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
good, but I did win 2 pie making contests with this pie.
Oh, well,
Mhm.
that's a good pie then.
Yeah.
It is a
Oh
good
shit!
pie.
I forgot to ask you how your chili making contest went.
Got 4th.
That's okay.
You know why?
Your husband fucked with it.
Yeah, he did.
I know.
Yeah, so I made a
That's fine.
spicy one and I made a non-spicy one,
Uh-huh.
and he entered them as one entry.
Oh.
So my votes got split. Does that make sense?
Yes.
He's
Wow.
like, I think I screwed this up,
Yes,
and I'm
you
like,
did.
yeah, you did.
Yeah, thank you. Mhm.
Yep. Or I would have won.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever. But the good news was no chili came back, so that means
Oh, that's
people
good.
liked it,
That's
right?
good. Yeah.
So I felt that was a
Chili.
win.
Yeah.
Good. 4th place out of how many people?
I don't know.
Like hundreds?
No, there was probably like 30 entries.
That's good.
maybe.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
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 Not like out of 5 people.
Yeah.
But I was like,
Or-
how did that
Or
go?
out of 4.
I was like,
Yeah, there's 5 people.
yeah. You did great.
No, because at the chili contest they were worried about having entries, so I said, "Oh, well, I'll do 2,
Mhm.
just to help out."
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm. So nice.
but it backfired on me.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
He just said, "Here's Rebecca's chili," and then like, boop, done. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, "No, I labeled them spicy, non-spicy. Like, come on, those are 2 entries." But
What
it's
did you
okay.
What did you put to make the spicy one spicy?
Oh, so this is the fun one. I got to experiment with chilies
Uh-huh.
in culinary school, and so I went to this Asian market in Jinx. Have you been there?
In Jinx.
Not a Jinx.
Oh, they have the best
No.
little chilies.
Okay.
And you're gonna ask me what they're called, and I can't remember.
Do you know what the place is called? The store? The
It's
shopping?
like Asian market.
Oh, okay.
It's probably Thai bird chilies.
Yeah, they're like these little chilies
Yeah.
that are super spicy.
Yeah.
So I just cut. I mean, those are the kind when they get under your nails
Oh, yeah.
for 5 days, you'll be like, oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh darn it. Why did I do that? You know, they're really
Yeah.
spicy. So I stuck some of those in there.
Yeah.
But they're not as bad as what's the one? The biggest.
Like the ghost chili.
No,
Ghost chili?
what's the other
Habanero?
one? No.
Scorpion?
Uh,
Serrano?
No.
I'm running
Anyway,
out of hot
yeah, I
chilies.
know. I need my Google.
Yeah.
It's all right. Where's Alexa?
She's over there.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's
She
fine.
doesn't know.
I can't remember.
So was it like so chili was not like blow your face off chili?
No, I
Okay.
mixed in some jalapenos,
Mhm.
some cayenne, and then these special Thai chili thingies.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's fun.
That
It was-
sounds good.
it
That's
was
fun that you
pretty
got to play with
spicy.
it. Yeah. There's a great Pan Asia on
Mhm.
71st is a really
Ooh,
good.
that's
It's a really
good.
good market.
Really good Asian market.
And the one we started with was Namai
Yeah.
at 31st and Garnett, which is still a really good
I-
market.
That is the one thing about culinary school. They made us go to these little tiny markets. They're like, you need to find this specific ingredient. And everyone's like, we can't find it.
Oh,
They're
that's
like,
fun.
did you go to your local, Hispanic market? Or did you go to your local Asian market? And
Okay.
everyone's like, oh. And so I was frequenting all these little tiny, I didn't even know markets that existed.
So where else did you go? Was there somewhere else?
There's the Hispanic one over by actually where you guys are. Morelos.
Morelos.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a few of those around town.
And so I would have to go for they wouldn't have these special things a lot of times at your Whole Foods or anything. So I had to
Right,
go
yeah,
hunting
yeah.
around for
Mhm.
ingredients.
That's
It's kind of
That's
fun.
fun.
And
Yeah.
these ladies would be like, "What are you doing in here?" And I'd be like, "I have a list. Do you have any of these things?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Tell
lots
me.
of fun. And then
Yes.
they actually got to know me. And then a lot of the restaurants, since we had to do a lot of plating, they taught us how to plate. They had a lot of the silverware and a lot of the utensils. Like I didn't have the little spoon for like the Asian soup.
Uh-huh.
They had those, and they had like a lot of cool plates for
Mhm.
real cheap.
They are.
You know,
Yeah.
and bowls and
Yeah.
stuff. We had
Oh,
to
yeah.
do like pho and
Yeah.
like all kinds of stuff. And so it was really cool to like present it in like the authentic bowl.
Yeah.
The way it's supposed to
Supposed
look.
to
That's
look.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So it's kind of fun to go to those markets and
It
see what
is
they
fun.
have. Yeah.
Sometimes I just go. We talk
We just
about it all the
go,
time.
yeah.
We just go to have a good. look around, see what's new.
Yeah. It's
Don't
not
necessarily
Aldi.
need something.
I mean, you and your Aldi.
I know. I did go today though. All the pumpkins are gone, so
I
too
know.
late.
They're
I
gone at
missed
Trader
them.
Joe's
I
too.
missed them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They
They
have
a lot.
some of the little ones.
Yeah.
That all the big ones are gone.
Well,
So
there you go.
you
No
know.
more pumpkins.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
you've got this week and next week,
Mm-hmm.
and then what?
Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of time off because my son's a senior in high school and I don't want to miss a beat. And I'm still trying to transition my career. So I'm going to go right back to school and get my bachelor's degree. Is that right? No, associate's degree. And then I'm going to get my bachelor's degree in nutrition. So it'll take me a little bit.
Okay.
So it's a journey.
So you're going to go back to regular school.
So right now it's a degree.
Okay.
And then if I go 6 more months, I get the associates.
Oh, okay.
And
So
then-
this is still from Escoffier.
Yes. And
Oh,
then after
okay.
that, I can get, so I already have a degree in communications and another degree in media production. So I've
Okay.
already got that background. So I've already got a couple degrees in my belt. So a lot of those transfer. And so getting a bachelor's degree in nutrition is kind of where I want to go.
Okay.
That's sort of what I'm thinking. And there's
Yeah.
a friend of mine that opened up like a nutrition supplement business, and I would like to supplement with her. Like you asked, what's my end game? I don't know if this is going to work out, but
But you're
I
open
would
to it.
love to teach people how to eat healthy as well as teach them how to cook.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Just
was
teach them about real food,
intimidated
yeah.
by it. I lost 31 pounds, and I thought, if you would have asked me a year and a half ago during this transition, like you're going to lose 31 pounds during this journey, I would have thought you were crazy. But through the journey, you get to learn like what you put in your mouth actually matters.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It does.
it does.
100%.
Yep.
Well, you could work out on the treadmill all day long, but
Mhm.
if you don't eat something healthy, guess what?
If you're eating Mickey D's.
Processed food all the
Yeah.
time.
If the
Which
gummy
most
bear
people do.
supply is nonstop,
Yeah.
then
Even if they go grocery shopping,
Mhm.
it's processed food
Yeah.
right.
that they buy. You know,
Yeah.
it's quick and
Exactly.
easy dinners and like that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
And even like the network that I've created online, just it was it was like organic. Like
Mhm.
all of these people came out of the woodworks telling me like how they cook healthy, and
Mhm.
we're like swapping recipes, and
That's
we're doing
fun.
lots of fun
Yeah.
stuff. And I'd be like, "Ooh, well, that looks really cool.
Yeah.
You know, what's in that? And so we'll just educate each other.
But that's the other thing too, is knowing what is in your food.
Mhm.
Knowing what goes into your food makes a big
Mhm.
difference.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in that farm to table concept,
Mhm.
and everyone thinks, "Oh, it's so trendy." Well, it's actually not.
It's
It's not.
It's like normal
It's like
life.
how
It's like how we
used to
started
do
out
it.
eating. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They
like
went out to the farm and they put it on their fucking table and they ate
yeah,
it.
I know. Like you grow it out of the ground
Yeah.
and you eat it,
Yeah.
whatever's harvested
Yeah.
that day. And I'm just fascinated by doing that. And I would like to someday have a garden like you. You know, I don't know if you're more flowery.
Yeah. I've got some herbs and stuff, but I don't have vegetables.
Yeah.
No, that's my
Yeah.
boyfriend's department.
Yeah.
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 Or like you. Yeah. Like I just think that that's so important. You know, whatever
Yeah.
you harvest is what you're cooking today.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
And that's kind of how I grew up. So my mom was the cook and my dad had a big giant garden. He grew up on a farm. And so in
Well, that's
California,
fun.
he had the massive garden that everybody would like Google over. I said Google. Google didn't
over.
exist then.
I think so.
Before Google.
Like he would have massive corn stalks. He would grow artichokes, eggplants,
That's so fun.
Brussels sprouts, lima beans. You
Yeah.
can't get fresh lima beans here. Like
Yeah.
you cannot get them in the pod. Like I don't even know if people know they're in a pod. You know,
I know.
like how do we get lima beans except for out of the can? You
Yeah.
know, you know,
Or how you
green
get
beans.
almost anything,
Yeah.
but out of a can.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
carrots, onions, potatoes, lettuce, everything. We grew everything. We had every fruit. We had all the oranges. We had
So
persimmons.
did you grow up eating that?
Yep.
Mhm.
And so I would invite people over. I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to come to dinner tonight.
Mhm.
It's the veggie platter. And they're like, oh.
I'm
like-
Like, yay.
And I'm like, no, it's great. And they're
Yeah.
like, were you kidding when you said it's the veggie platter? I'm like, yeah, it's a heaping thing of all the veggies from the garden. And my mom puts cheese on top. And it's the best thing ever.
Mhm.
And they're
I
like,
bet it is with cheese
Yeah.
on top.
oh, so
Yeah.
good. But everyone didn't appreciate it the way I did.
Yeah.
yeah, I know.
I mean, it'd be full of everything that we got out of the garden that day.
That's
So,
awesome.
that's my goal.
That's awesome.
Get back
Now
to
I'm
it.
just talking about my end game with you guys. I'm
No,
like,
it's
ooh, this is
okay.
good.
We're gonna get there.
I know.
Well, thanks for being here.
Thank you
This
for
was
having
so
me.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'd love to come back if you will have me.
Yeah, we'll have to
course,
check
yeah.
in with
Yeah.
your progress on your end game.
Okay.
Mhm.
I'll be here. Well, I hope
All
so. You
Yeah.
know, I
You
can't
will be.
predict.
It'll be fine.
Okay.
It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
everything's
All right.
fine.
Bye. Goodbye.
Stay fresh.
Oh, I
Do it again.
you know I get so wrapped up in what we're doing.
I know.
Stay fresh.
Pumpkin bags.